Today we're going to play Take Stock, which is an economic card game for 2 to 6 players. I'm going to show you how to set it up, and then we're going to play a 2-player game and talk about it. So here we go. Okay, so we're setting up a game of Take Stock. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that each player has 4 of these stock option tokens. We're going to come back to using these when we get to the end of a round. You'll then want to take these stock cards. They're going to have numbers on them and pictures for different commodities. You want to make sure you have the 5 ones out on the table. Those are going to be your starting values for each of the commodities. You'll take the rest of these and you're going to shuffle them up and give each player an equal number of them. And the number that you give each player is going to be dependent on the number of players you have in your game. We're going to play a 2-player game, so each of us is going to get 7 cards. If you're playing with 3 players, each player gets 6. If you're playing with 4, each player gets 5. If you're playing with 5 or 6, each player gets 4. You'll also want to take these event cards, which are going to have a variety of different events, and we'll talk about what those are in just a little bit. You're going to shuffle these up and put down 10. 10, and then take one of these events out, the market is closed card, put that on top of the 10, so that's the 11th card in the deck, and then you'll take the rest of the deck and put it on top. And we'll come back to this card here in a little bit when we talk about what each of these events does. Once each player has their cards and each player has their tokens, you've got your game set up and ready to go. On each turn, the first thing you're going to do is draw a stock card and add that to your hand. You then have the option of playing a card from your hand. With this row of commodities, these are the values of any stocks that you currently have. You can play onto these with cards from your hand to increase the value of that stock. So in the case of technology here, we could play a 2 technology on top of it, and now the value of technology is 2 for each stock that you have. You can play up to 4 as an increase. So you can play a 2, 3, 4, or 5 at the beginning of the game with these 1s in place. So, for example, we could increase the value of diamonds to 5, but we can't increase the value of film to 6, because that's more than this difference of 4 rule that you have in place. Then on a later turn, increase the value from 5 to 9, and then the value maxes out at 12. And you'll notice that on the 12, there's this little stop sign symbol, the same one that's on the market is closed event card. That's going to tell us that we have reached the end of a round if we ever play the 11 or the 12 in any value as these values increase over the course of the round. You'll also notice on some of these cards, the higher their value, down at the bottom, they have symbols. So there's nothing on the 2 of technology, but on the 5, you see 1 diamond. On the 9, there are 2 diamonds. And on the 11 and the 12, there are 3 diamonds. This is going to be true as you go through each of the suits. What these are indicating for us are a number of shares, because the other way that you can play cards, if you don't put them into a column to increase the value, is by playing them in front of you. When you do that, you are saving that and using just this portion as an indicator of how many stocks of that particular commodity you have in your tableau in front of you. So I could have 3 here if I chose to play this 11 of diamonds in front of me instead of into a column to increase its value. You can have a number of cards in front of you equal to the number of cards in each column. So right now at the beginning of the game, you could only have one card in front of you for corn, for example. But because we have 3 diamonds in play, you could have up to 3 cards that gave you diamonds. You could also, on your turn, if you don't want to play a card into a column to increase its value, or play a card in front of you to claim values of that stock, or if you aren't able to. If I already had, say 3 cards in front of me for diamonds and I didn't have any other stocks, you can also discard a card from your hand and put it into a discard pile. When you do that, you have 2 options. You can either draw the top 2 event cards, look at them, and choose one of them to play, or you can draw the top 1, look at it, and then put it face down in front of you. If you take that option, then you have this card to play at a later time in place of your action. So that's your 4th option. If you don't want to play cards, you don't want to claim stock, you don't want to discard a card, you can go ahead and play one of these cards that you've set aside on an earlier turn and reveal it to affect the market in some way. So those are all the actions you can take. You have 3 ways that a round can end. The round ends if this 11 or 12 ever gets played in any single commodity, as shown with the little stop symbol that's on it, or if this market is closed event card comes out of the deck, and remember it's going to be the 11th one from the bottom at the beginning of the game. So this won't be the way that your early rounds end. Or if any player plays the last card that they have in your hand. At this point, when you get to the end of a round, that's when these stock option tokens come into effect. You can choose to play one or more of them to play cards out of your hand to claim more stock. So at the beginning of the game, you have 4. You're never going to get any more of them. In this case, diamonds are extremely valuable, and everything else is worth almost nothing just because of the way our little scenario is. So I may want to play a couple of my stock options at the end of the round to take a couple of diamonds from my hand and put them down so that I have 3 diamonds. Each of those diamonds is worth 11. At the end of the game, whoever has the most points from these stocks throughout the course of the rounds is going to be the winner. You're going to play 4 rounds of the game. Once your round has ended and you've scored your number of stocks by the value that they have at the end of the round, you're going to prepare for your 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. If the round ended because you got to this event card, the market closes, then you're going to take all of the event cards, you're going to shuffle all of them up, and you're going to reset this deck in the same way that we did at the start of the game. So you're going to shuffle them up, put down 10, put in this one as the 11th card, and then stack the rest on top. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you will gather up all the event cards that have been played, so all these ones that are face up like this, shuffle them, and instead of putting them on top, you're going to put them on the bottom, so that as the game progresses, this market is closed event card gets closer and closer to the top, so it becomes more and more likely that that's how your round is going to end suddenly. You'll then gather up all of these cards, and again, leave the ones out on the table, and shuffle all of them up so that you can deal out a new set of cards. Whoever has the lowest score becomes the new dealer. The start player is going to be the player to the left of the dealer. So let's talk about all these different event cards, and there are a lot of them. I've set up a potential market, just as an example case for us. We've got a value of 6 in corn, a value of 5 in diamonds, a value of 2 in technology. I currently have 4 corn, 2 diamonds, and 2 technology. We're mostly going to talk about corn for our examples here. The first event card that you might see is a stock split. If it gets played, it's going to go above a column, and you're going to discard the highest value of that stock. So it's just going to go into our discard pile here. Corn is now worth 4 for each one, and a stock split acts as a multiplier before you apply it to each of your stocks. So 4 times 2, 8 times 4. Multiple stock splits will stack. So we would lose our 4, and now the basic corn has a value of 3 because we have 1 and we have 2 stock splits, so times 3, or times 4, and you can't discard the 1. The easiest way to think about scoring stock splits is to think about it as this just being representative of another column that is the same value as this one. So whatever our value is, we've got a second one, so times 2, times 3, or times 4 if we have 3 stock splits. So in this case, each of my corn would be worth 4, so 4 times 4. The next market event that you could get would be a stock crash. When a stock crash comes out, it's going to go face down into the market events discard pile. So this discard pile over here is always going to be face down so that you don't know exactly what's in it. So you'll reveal it to everybody and then place it face down after you resolve it. In the case of this example, we are going to affect our corn market again. When a stock crash happens, the top half of the stock cards rounded down is discarded. So here we've got 3 cards, so we're going to discard the top half of them rounded down. Rounded down is just the 1 card, so our corn goes from being value 6 to being value 4 because of the stock market crash. If we had a stock split in play, the market crash will remove that stock split rather than changing the value of the base stock. And then all those cards go into our face down market events discard pile. The more extreme version of that is a full market crash, which has the bull and the bear on it and the same iconography with the arrow going down. When that happens, we do it with all 5 of our commodities. So we'd lose corn 6, diamonds 5, and technology 2. And we can never discard these 1s, remember, so they'll stay in play. And then this would go into our face down discard pile. Our next event card that we're going to talk about is Insider Trading. And this one is a corn Insider Trading card. What Insider Trading lets you do is dig through our discard pile and look for commodities that match this symbol. So let's just put out a discard pile so that we have something here. I play Insider Trading corn. I can go ahead and pick up this discard pile and look through it to try to find up to 3 cards that match this symbol to take. So I'll probably take that 10 and that 11, but I don't have a third one that's really worth taking. I could take that 3 if I want to. With this case, I'm going to take these 2 cards, and because I'm taking 2 cards, I have to discard 2 cards from my personal supply, from my hand that I've got, and add them to the discard pile. Right now, let's say I only have 1 card, so I could only take one of these 2 cards and add it to my hand. I would then discard my other card out of my hand. And then on a later turn, I could go ahead and lay this one down to have 3 more corn. Or if somebody else had played a 7 here so that I wasn't breaking that limit rule, maybe play that to bring the value of corn all the way up to 11. And then that's going to go face down on our market events pile. Our next event card is a stock audit. If you get the stock audit, you're going to play that and then put it on the discard pile face down. You get to choose one of these 5 commodities and either remove the highest value card and put it in the discard pile, or if there's a stock split, you can discard the stock split. So, say this is another player playing this one, they might want to reduce the value of all my corn. You can choose to audit a stock that has a value of 1, and if it doesn't have any stock splits, your action would mean nothing. This might be something you would do if you used your action to discard a card, draw 2, and play 1, and both of them were not cards that were helpful to you, and the other one was particularly bad. You might want to just throw that other card away. This is going to be a stock freeze. You can freeze an unfrozen stock, or if you play one of these stock freeze cards on a column that is already frozen, you can thaw it and get rid of the freeze that's on it. What a freeze card is going to do is prevent any other cards from being played into that column. If it's frozen, you can't play any cards to increase its value, you can't audit that stock, and you can't split it. If you play a stock crash onto a frozen stock, you're going to remove that freeze card and then resolve the crash as normal. So remove that highest value card in this case. Our next couple are really straightforward. A market upturn or market downturn results in each player either drawing an extra commodity card to put in their hand or discarding one from their hand. And if this causes the round to end, then that has ended the round because one player doesn't have any cards left in their hand. It affects all players. Likewise, a stock options gained or stock options lost card will cause each player to either gain a stock options token or lose a stock options token. Players with no remaining tokens lose nothing. No market change means that nothing happens. And then the one that we've already talked about is the market closes, ends the round. You'll take all of the event cards, shuffle all of them up, and reset to 10 event cards. Then your market closes, and then putting the rest of the event cards on top of those 11 cards. That's all the event cards. That's all the rules for the game, so let's go ahead and play it, and you can see how it looks.
You dealt the cards.
I did, so you are the first player to take an action. I don't like my cards. I feel like that's how I begin every game of Take Stock. That I just have a bunch of cards that don't seem helpful to me. Yep, draw your card.
Tech.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Way to increase the value of technology. Let's see. I am going to increase the value of barrels of black licorice.
All right.
I don't have a strategy.
That's okay.
I hope you do.
I'm going to discard and draw 2 events and play 1.
Oh, so early.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to split a stock? Is the market not going to change? Are you going to tax audit?
I'm going to freeze the film industry.
Whoa! We can't increase the price of film. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess the film industry is going nowhere. It's stuck in, I don't know, making some kind of crappy old movie. All they can do is make Star Trek V over and over again. Let's see. Well, I'm going to discard a card also. I'm going to play one of these also. Let's see. Is that helpful to me in any way? Yes. I'm going to split diamonds.
Okay, I'm going to discard a card and play a card in front of me.
Oh. Investing in
Technology.
Technology. I am going to similarly... I guess I'm going to discard film, because that industry is going nowhere, so that I can invest in blood diamonds.
Great. Oh.
Oh, for another event, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Well, hold on. No, I'll just put another card out.
Okay. Ooh, all those barrels of black licorice.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest in the corn market.
I'm going to invest more heavily in the corn market.
Oh, no. Outmaneuvered. I'm going to go ahead and invest a little bit in technology. Oh. Oh, you're worthless to me. Get out of here, film! Can't do anything with that. There you go. There you go. To invest in black licorice. Oh, so much technology. Discard corn. to at least match your investment in black licorice. Catching up to me in blood diamonds. Increase the value of black licorice. Two events. What's going to happen? Stock split. Market crash. So that would discard this.
Yep.
You've made my blood diamonds worth half as much.
Yeah.
I'm going to discard this film card to invest very heavily in black licorice. Oh, insider trading for corn. Okay, so you're going to discard one card for each one of those cards that you want to take.
Alright, so I don't have the cards for that. But I have the cards for that.
Okay. So you discarded, sorry, I just want to see what the other one was. Oh, you discarded the 11 of corn and the 12 of technology? Interesting.
I don't have the capacity to play either of them.
I see. Okay. Yes, I'm going to discard film in order to draw 2 event cards and see what I can do.
I hope you increase the value of film.
Neither of them matter, so...
Great.
That is you.
We're going to increase the value of corn.
Oh. Yeah, that seems like a good thing to do for you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cause the film industry to have a crash, which relieves this poor frozen stock so that film can actually become valuable as a commodity.
Now that we've thrown away all the
yeah,
film
yeah,
cards.
yeah, now that we have just nothing.
No.
No, investing in corn.
So I'm going to throw out
Oh, yeah.
that to do that.
Man, I just have nothing useful. Oh, I'm going to just draw one and keep it face down so that I have it for a future round if I want.
Great. Well, I will.
Are you gonna end things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I can't play this card.
Oh, yep, that's right. Limit.
Discard. So, hold on. I'm gonna...
As many times as we've done that, we should leave one of them in so that it is obvious how easy that is to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a corn.
Okay. Draw my card. I can't play that. I'm gonna go ahead and that's yeah, that's worth more. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this diamond that I've been trying to play to get 3 more diamonds for a while, and instead get more barrels of black licorice, because I can do that.
Okay.
And that'll end the round. Okay, so we don't have any stock splits, so we don't have multipliers in place.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be your number of shares. There's not like a board or anything to track your score on, so I guess if you want to grab that piece of paper and that pen and you can write down what we have, it will be riveting.
Yep.
Shuffle all of these. We're going to shuffle our discard on market events, which is just a little bit too thin to be like actually shuffleable. So that's going to be just kind of crap shuffled like this. And then we're going to put those on the bottom. Well, that was 25% of a game of Take Stock. You ready for the exciting second quarter? What can I do here? I'm going to increase the value of corn just slightly. Technology? So valuable. I will go ahead and play... I'm going to discard to draw 2 and play 1. We'll go ahead and cause us to each just get a card. Starting with the active player, I draw first. You took my card. I don't care. I do care because the card I drew sucks, but...
Oh.
Is that the card you drew?
Yep.
Oh, technology! Man. to go to there. Let's see. Wow. I'm going to discard that, I guess. And use it to invest in something, I feel like. I don't know.
I hear the film industry's making a comeback.
It did unfreeze at the end of last round, so I think you're right. I think it's going to make a big comeback this time around. Do I want to invest in it, though? I think you're just trying to bait me. I'm going to go ahead and invest in technology just to spite you. Oh, no!
Oh, I'm sorry, here. There's my card to do that.
That's fine. I wasn't too worried about it. I think you're right. I think film is going to make a comeback. Look at it go. It's surging! There's so much interest in our burgeoning cinema. Oh no! I fell right into a trap!
That's $8 I'm gonna make.
When was the last time you heard a theater called a cinema? It's been a while. Is there a difference between a theater and a cinema? Is that a thing?
I mean, Regal Cinemas.
I guess that's true.
Pretty big thing.
I guess that's true.
Film? Corn?
Corn?
It's worth $2.
It is worth $2. I'm just getting outperformed everywhere right now. Yeah, I'm going to invest heavily in film. Got to hold on to my minor gains from the last round. Oh, that doesn't seem like that's likely to go anywhere right now. Go ahead and discard that and get into licorice. Oh no! Man. It's always the thing that's going nowhere that I seem to draw the good cards for. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to draw a card. Yeah, I'm gonna draw 2 and play 1. It's not helpful.
Great.
Yep. I always draw bad event cards. You could have driven up the value of corn so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to invest in that measly corn.
Yep.
What's your scheme? What are you planning? Let's go ahead and drive up the value of diamonds rather than discarding that. Diamond game, huh? Oops, I accidentally picked up 2. Discard this technology to invest heavily in blood diamonds. Because it's a great movie. Never actually seen Blood Diamond. I don't know if it was good.
It was better than The Revenant.
Ooh. Strong words. Oh, the value of black licorice. Discard some cinema to invest in black licorice. Oh no. Battling it out.
3.
3, yep. Had to look. Limit rule. Get you every time. Oh, 2 events, huh? Insider trading. Well, go ahead and look to see if there's one blood diamond card in there that you would like. No. It's always rough business when you don't get the card that you need out of that. It's actually a dilemma. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, no, that's the wrong way. Oh, either way is gonna be risky. Yeah. Do that and invest in corn. Oh, okay, so we're going to discard half.
Rounded down.
Rounded down. So, we're just going to lose that 7. Ooh, that is unpleasant for me.
Do you have to lose your stock that's over the top of the amount now? Or you still have those stocks?
You can't play one
Okay.
that goes over the limit, so I believe I'm fine. Okay, so I'm drawing a card. I'm just gonna take the safe route and go ahead and get out.
Okay.
In the round, you have the option of using your stock option tokens if you would like to.
I would not.
Okay. Let's get our values. And okay, so I'm playing a card first. Thank you. I don't like that card. No, thank you. What do you think's going to be big this time around? Any predictions?
Corn.
Corn? Corn hasn't been big yet, has it?
No.
Do you think it's due?
I already stated we need corn and
Blood diamonds. That was in the take that we didn't keep. So nobody heard you say that before. So now you are on record saying that corn and blood diamonds are the two things that are necessary in the world. Technology, black licorice, film, not important. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start out strong with film again. I think that that's going to continue to be a big deal. Really, I just have nothing. So, oh, look at corn.
I told you corn was going to be big.
Man, it is. It is the most valuable of commodities right now, in fact. I'm going to go ahead and discard this useless 2 now. Draw 2 cards. Well, that one is not helpful, so I guess black licorice is going to split.
Great.
Investing in black licorice. Wise.
It's $2.
It is.
Is it $4?
It's each share is worth $2 right now because of the split.
I just locked down $4.
You did.
Unless you freeze it.
Unless I freeze it and get rid of that stock option, which I'm not going to say this is a freeze card.
I hope that you have saved a do nothing card for the entire game.
That would be like me. Let's see. Did I draw a card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have not drawn a card. I'm going to discard this useless 3 of corn. To lock down... $9. Look at that. Look at that $9.
I'm looking.
Film. Lucrative. Ooh, double split. What is happening to the black licorice industry? Man, I would love of any cards that were, like, playable. Discard film. I'm going to go ahead and invest in black licorice, since it's splitting so often. It's getting crazy. Oh, man. You are just going crazy there. I'm going to go ahead and also invest in black licorice again. Oh, corn. Tough decisions. Tough decisions. Technology. Oh no. Oh. Wow. That's awful. Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's it, yeah. I'll at least get into the corn market at the end there.
Yeah.
So what are our current scores? Because we're going to have to calculate who's actually in the lead now. So I had 76
You're
plus
definitely
75
in the lead,
plus
97. You're in the
97.
lead.
Okay. So going into this last round, I have 248.
I have 84 plus 56 plus 90.
230.
Yeah.
And you were right. Corn was huge. I listened to you and I think invested every corn card I drew. Any predictions this time?
Corn.
Corn. All right. I'm going to listen. I'm going to discard this blood diamond and immediately invest in corn. I'm going to trust you. Let's see if I get sound stock advice from my rival. Technology. Gotta love all this blind investing that's happening right now. I'm gonna go ahead and outmatch you in technology investment.
Oh, you've made $3 to my 2.
I have. Oh. Film? Invest in licorice. Okay. Oh, a technology split. Oh, yeah, because there's a split, so you can do that.
Sorry, did I discard a card to do that? Were you paying attention to me? Is that your 2 or is that my 2?
I believe I discarded that too. Yeah, I discarded that too.
Okay, and I will discard.
If I'm wrong, I apologize for invalidating our play.
I don't care. I'm like clearly trying to just play cards to speed the round up because I've only got 3 cards left in my hand. Like I'm really trying to just burn through them.
Well, that's perplexing as a strategy for you. I'm doing that because I clearly have a lead.
Yeah,
so
I'm clearly just trying to
in the game to stop playing.
Yeah, like we're in the last round, we're in the home stretch. Just want to carry on. So let's just drop that and let's.
Well, you can only invest in black licorice or diamonds right now.
So let's just get another event going. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, split corn. All right. I can't play this or either of these, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal the action that I've been sitting on this entire game.
Can't wait.
It's a black licorice split.
Okay.
I was really sad last round that there were 2 black licorice splits and I didn't have black licorice, so I wasn't in a good position to split it a third time. Well, that means that I can get rid of this and invest more heavily in black licorice. Another event. So the market closes. Wow, market closes. You can use any stock option tokens you would like to play cards from your hand. Once. One time in the game.
Yeah.
I am unable to play my other 3 of diamonds. Let's see what happens here for points.
97 plus 75 plus 76 plus 25. Yeah, that sucks for you.
Gotta open this calculator. Okay, so 97
75.
plus 75 plus 76.
25.
Plus 25. 273 is that final score for me. And you...
84.
Okay. 84.
56.
56.
90.
90.
18.
18. 248.
Take stock.
Did you take stock?
I certainly tried. I don't know where to start with take stock.
Let's start where I think is always good to start. Is there anything you like about take stock?
It has a small footprint.
Okay.
It's in a compact box. It's basically 2 decks of cards and tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And you could make an argument that the tokens don't even need to be there.
Sure.
Like, if you could count to 4, then you wouldn't even need the tokens. But they're there.
I think you need them in the game to keep track of that.
But you could use any object, like...
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's small.
Okay. The thing that I like about take stock is that each player's turn is generally pretty quick. You may have like do I want to, doing a brief like doing math thing of, is it better for me to increase the value of that stock or that stock, or what's going to happen points wise between the two of us? Am I going to give you too many points compared to how many points I'm going to gain? So you can't have like a delay there, but for the most part, you draw a card, you play a card. Mm-hmm. So I like that about it, that turns generally move pretty fast. Anything else? Art-wise, how do you feel about it art-wise?
It's inoffensive.
Iconography, like, pretty straightforward.
I guess so. See, I guess this leads into what the problems with the game are, is that it's... You keep dancing around like the idea of wanting to say that, like, oh, it's just a simple card game, but it's not simple.
No.
It's like just bogged down, and like
there are a lot of, like, I think the biggest thing is that there are a lot of event cards. And they interact with each other in different ways. So you have to you always have to like refer to the rules and look at, okay, so if I play this event right now, that event, that other event card, like there's a split happening in this one, and this one is frozen. How are these cards going to affect those things? And I feel like you always are referring to the rules to look at what the event cards are going to do. Mm-hmm. Like, without that, it would be a pretty simple game. Increase value, lay down the number, and then do maths.
Kind of, but, like, even in our, like...
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say. Okay.
The limit rule.
Yeah, the limit rule is...
It's not complicated.
It's just really easy to forget. And
if you mess it up, you're like, well, everything is just thrown off now, because I've played a card that I shouldn't have been able to.
Yeah. 3 turns ago. We were talking about, while we were shuffling cards in one of the sections that's probably going to get cut, that we finished a round and we were kind of like, oh, did we violate the limit rule? I don't know for sure that we didn't. So if that happened during our gameplay footage, I apologize. It's just really easy to not remember that that's a thing, that you need to count the number in each column plus the number of splits, and that's how many cards you can have in front of you. I don't know, like, for something that feels like it's a simple card game, it really isn't simple.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you're, asking for arguments for the game, things that it's doing, there's something... Presumably something you said for depth of gameplay, that, like, the more you play it, the more, like, interesting and engaging maybe that would be to you if you get used to it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of basic card games, if you kind of invest yourself in figuring out the way the mechanisms work, then you, like, are more in tune with it and better able to understand what's happening on a card-by-card basis.
Sure.
I don't know if this game would be... like, if someone counted cards, I don't know if they would just, like, win. I don't know how luck-dependent it is. I guess as a round progresses, you would be able to see all the cards that have been coming out, and you'd know what is still there. I think my biggest complaints are I felt like at least in 2 of the rounds that we did for our gameplay footage, my starting hand severely hampered my ability to be competitive, especially in a 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
Where, if you just started with a 3 card and everything, and I started with all cards with no values, no stock values for myself, then it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna discard cards and play events, because there's no reason for me to drive up the price of things that I can't invest in, hoping that maybe I'll get a card for it later, but you might just invest in it in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then if I draw events that are just also increase the value of the stocks that I don't have anything in, or do nothing, or look for cards in the discard pile when there's not a discard pile, or I already know there's nothing worth taking out of the discard pile. There's a lot of... I don't think there's a lot you can do if you get dealt a bad hand. I don't think there's really any means of mitigating it other than just kind of hoping to draw things out by just kind of biding your time and playing crap cards, trying to draw better cards as the round goes on. Watching everyone else also make money playing good cards and go, well, there's another good card that I'm not going to draw. And I don't think that's a problem exclusive to the 2-player game. I think it's worse in a 2-player game, but, like, we played a 4-player game, and it was... I recall it being similar to that, where if someone drew all cards that were 10, 11, 12, and watched everyone else, drive up the value of whatever card they had, then they just profit off of it.
Yeah. And there's definitely there's something, I guess, kind of interesting in there strategically of, do you drive up the price of a thing and then invest in it, hoping that other people will also invest in it, because will also drive up the value, because they have a couple of 2s, and they're thinking like, okay, I can get something out of this, and then you go, bam, bam! By the way, I had the 11 and the 12. So I have, 6 shares of this, and you only have 2. Is there a thing to do there? I don't know. Like, strategically, I'm just not sure how to play this game.
Yeah.
If I should invest first, and then, once I've invested in a thing pretty heavily, you don't really have a reason to drive the price up. All you have is a reason to invest in it, too, so that if I drive the price up, you match it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to play this game really well.
The question is, do you want to learn how to play the game really well?
I have no interest in learning to play this game really well.
So, I think this game falls into a category of traditional card games. I think, like, almost every other traditional card game that I've ever played, I don't have any interest in continuing to invest myself in it because there are more interesting games accessible to me. Specifically in the context of like board gaming in general, like I could be playing a game about spacemen or cavemen or going on adventures or things like that. Instead, I'm playing a card game about stocks and commodities, and it's not even like necessarily thematically relevant what's happening. It's just kind of numbers and colors.
It's very abstracted.
And any kind of card game that's just a card game with like numbers and colors, suits and whatever, like I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really going to be interested in playing it extensively to try to become a master of it. So I think that's really something to make sure people are aware of if they are interested in the game for some reason. That there are people that will just want a simple card game. That's not a simple card game.
Yeah.
People who want a traditional card game that plays like something like Rummy or poker or things like that. They're just card games. They just want something that's bare bones mechanics. Because I think there are a group of people that's the kind of game that they want to play.
Sure.
I'm not in that group, and I don't know of anyone that's in that group. So I have no reason to really recommend this to anyone, but at the same time, I don't think it's a bad game.
Okay.
I think it is pretty average to slightly lackluster and below average for just being like something that I don't have an interest in continuing to play.
Sure.
So I'd say it's like a 4.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. There's like depth there. There is definitely an audience for it. I'm not in the audience. My rating would probably be closer to like a 3.5 because I don't really like it. I just find it really boring.
Mm-hmm. It does. It goes on too long. I think that's a problem.
Maybe that's what it is. That like if it was half that length, maybe if it was only just 3 rounds instead of 4 rounds, like maybe. I don't know. I just don't have any particular interest in playing it.
Yeah.
Let's take stock. And now we'll take stock of our lives and consider
our options.
How we just spent the last hour and a half of our lives.
It's grim. There are no videos for take stocks. We can't go wrong. We did everything poorly. Sorry.
Let this be a lesson to you.
If you choose to play take stock.
There are a lot of bits and pieces moving, and you have to keep them all in mind. Didn't even get 25% of the way through a game. Takes a long time to play the stock market. Everybody's a loser.
When you play take stock, everybody loses.